Hello to everyone, I'm Vladimir Vlad, aka the Bulgarian Cowboy, and now we're going to talk about the latest news. Well, this guy may be not famous to many of you, maybe not known, but to me, this guy is perfectly famous. It's Frank Camacho, and he is from Guam. This is the overseas USA territory, and he is one of the rare fighters who proved that UFC is a global martial art, that UFC is a global sport, which is popular all around the globe, and that's something that makes me really, really happy right now. And yeah, it's becoming a global martial art. So the latest news is that Christos Giagos, who defeated Amir Hadjovic via unanimous decision, is hurt. He hurt himself, and Frank Camacho will replace him in the match against Alan Patrick Silva Alves at UFC Fight Night 173, which is scheduled to take place in Nebraska, in the city of Lincoln on April 25th, which will be headlined by the clash between Anthony Smith and Glover Teixeira. At least I hope it will be headlined. I hope this pandemic will go by until back then. And let me now give you predictions. Frank Camacho, interestingly, he is Guamanian, or he was born in Hagatna, Guam, nicknamed the Crank, and he has a background in wrestling, boxing, BJJ, fights out of Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands, and he spent the majority of his career there. And he is a pure example that you can progress in any part of the world. And yeah, he is definitely a progress, Mr. Progress, the guy who knows that you can be popular in any part of the world, that you can make a result and so on. And 22 wins, 8 losses, it's kind of great, 17 knockout victories. He competed at TUF 16, Team Carvin versus Team Nelson, where he squared off against Neil Mang in the first round, losing via unanimous decision and getting eliminated from the competition. But looking back at this, he spent the majority of his life in that territory. He was fighting Guam and Northern Mariana Islands. He only fought once until he reached the UFC in United States, and got to say it's kind of great. He knocked out James Jones at UWC 6 in 29, and the guy fights for around 15 years. He was finishing majority of his opponents via KO or TKO, and he is the former PXC lightweight champion who TKO'd Tyrone Jones. And after he arrived to UFC, he has a score of 2-4, which is amazing considering where he coming from. Decision loss to Li Jingliang, Damian Brown split decision victory where he missed weight too. Drew Dober decision loss, Geoff Neal head kick loss, Nick Hine TKO victory, and Benil Dariush rear naked choke loss. So Alan Patrick comes from Brazil, from Manaus. I mean, he comes from the same place where Jose Aldo lives. He's black belt in BJJ, riding on a score of 15-2. Hello, brother. I'm on my break, so I can go 5 minutes more. I'm on the break between the lessons, and yeah, just to announce this one. Alan Patrick, well, I watched him on 3 occasions and got to say that the guy is a real cardio machine. I mean, you can talk whatever you want about this guy, but I recently found out that he won Bitati Combat Lightweight Championship, and I watched him in the UFC against Mairbek Taisumov, against Damir Hadjovic, and against Stevie Ray. And against Mairbek Taisumov, he had that nasty head kick and lost that fight. Damian Brown, Stevie Ray, Damir Hadjovic, he dominated. He really, really dominated. He was so powerful, so strong. And he was so strong. Looking back at his records, he knows to strike fairly. I mean, for a BJJ guy, he only has 2 submission wins, which is kind of weird, And Frank Camacho, he doesn't have a good submission defense. I will reply as soon as I finish this. I will reply. No worries. I will reply in 2 minutes. And Alan Patrick, looking back at this, I've seen good submission attempts from him, especially against Damir Hadžović. But let's analyze now Renato Moicano versus Damir Hadžović. He sank in that rear naked choke, locked it, and won. I mean, he won in 44 seconds. But against Damir Hadžović, Damir had moments where he dominated Alan Patrick. So Frank Camacho steps in on a short notice, but considering the area of the world where he comes from, he has a very, very good knockout power. Alan Patrick is better cardio machine. So if Frank Camacho doesn't finish him in the first 2 rounds, decision win for Alan Patrick for sure. If they go to the ground, it's definitively victory for Alan Patrick. So the only chance for Frank Camacho to win this fight is to keep it standing, to strike and to punch, to box against Alan Patrick. It won't be easy task to do, but he has to box against Nuguet. So yeah, I give more chances to Alan Patrick. Now to reply a question. Kevin Lee. You know, if he defeated Oliveira, you know, right now, if he defeated Oliveira, I might have believed that he has good chances of becoming the champion. But right now, I'd give more chances to Oliveira than Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee might jeopardize Khabib, might give him a hard time, you know, because he is the type of a fighter Khabib hates. But after this loss and after so many weighing misses, I believe even if he climbs on the division ladder, we will watch Yoel Romero too, or we will watch you know, a guy who sometimes loses, sometimes wins. So no, I don't think he can. If he defeated Charles Oliveira now, maybe, but he missed the scale, and that's. I mean, when you miss the scale, it's kind of humiliation, you know. It's just like Davison Figueiredo. You saw what he did. I mean, he won the title but missed the scale. It's not serious, you know. It means the fighter is not serious. You defeat yourself, if you know what I mean. For Yoel, well, Yoel is on a cold streak right now. Right now, I believe any fight from top 5 is not going to happen in the division. Right now, I believe Yoel needs to think seriously what's he gonna do next, because he looked disinterested. I don't know whether Dana is going to tolerate this, because you know that he released, correct me if I'm wrong, he released Elias Teodoro for such fights, for boring fights. That's why he released him, and his fights against Easy Boy, it was a good strategy for Easy Boy, you know, but very, very boring fight. And unfortunately, Yoel Romero takes part in many boring fights in the last 3 fights. Against Costa, it was okay. They were fighting, but against Easy Boy, against Rob Whittaker, the second fight, there was not much of an activity. So right now, I don't think they will give him to fight top 5 next. And honestly, I don't know. Romero plans to continue fighting, which is okay, which is good for him. But I am starting to think. Who could be his next opponent, and to be honest, I have no idea, because the top 5 after such a cold streak is not a good way to go. And number 2, his fight versus Paulo Costa was close, but Paulo Costa should be the next in line. So right now, I don't know who could be the next potential opponent for Yoel, and I don't even know who's free right now from that division. To be honest, have no idea who's free. Jared Cannonier is not going to happen. Darren Till, I doubt. Hermansson Gastelum, I don't know. Maybe Hermansson Gastelum, Branson, Shabazian, when they are free, of course. Uriah Hall, no. I don't know, brother. 6 or down. I think number 6 or down. That's what I think is going to happen at the moment. That's what I believe is going to happen, because right now, I don't know, man. Any fight with the top 5 doesn't make sense at the moment. Jack Hermansson is also on a cold streak. Yes, top 10, yes, but top 5, no. Jack Hermansson is on a cold streak right now. Let me see from these guys. All right. Maybe, I don't know whether Gastelum is scheduled or not. Branson, Shabazian. Well, I'd put him. Shabazian is, I think, scheduled to fight, but I'd put him against such guy, maybe Shabazian or such a real prospect, such a perspective guy. Maybe number 6, Jack Hermanson. I don't know, but I doubt he will get a top 5 fight right now because. I'm not saying that he was edged out by Paulo Costa. He was, I mean, it was a close fight. I don't think he was edged out. The thing that worries me is because he looked very disinterested in a fight against Easy Boy. That's something that worries me. I don't say Easy Boy was more active. That's the only thing that happened. He was more active, and that's basically it, But it was not interesting fight, and he has previous loss, and that's what worries me. That's something that honestly worries me because when you have losses in a row, that's it's not a good way to go. And when you have a vain miss history like Yoel has, it's also not a good way to go. Yoel is a beast in the octagon, definitely a beast in the octagon, and to be honest, maybe the most powerful fighter who has ever enter the octagon. I mean, when it comes to division power, I think he is even more powerful than Paulo Costa. Let me see how much time should I have. I have 1 minute more. All right. You have another question? Wash your hands, brother. Wash your hands. Wash on a regular basis. Disinfect area. That's what they told me. I disinfected the whole flat 3 times in a row. I'm washing my hands all the time. We have no wet wipes, unfortunately, here. We don't have it, so there are fewer and fewer groceries. So wash your hands all the time. Soap, wash, bath as much as you can. Pay attention. I mean, masks, okay, if you can wear a mask, wear gloves. I don't know. When I go out, I put scarf, like, over my mouth and nose because I don't have masks. We don't have masks at the moment right now. And I put scarf like this and around here to protect myself. I know it's spring and it's funny, but to be honest, I just hope everything will end soon. I hope we will watch UFC Lincoln, UFC Nebraska, however you call it. I hope we will watch Khabib and Tony fighting. Then I can relocate the fights. I hope he will. Right now, only Australia and New Zealand are safe locations, and maybe maybe Northern Mariana Islands, or however you call them, Polynesia, and maybe some areas from that part of the world. Right. Thank you for being here, and I hope we will watch UFC Lincoln. I hope the situation gets better. For tomorrow, just to announce, they said that Cage Warriors takes place. I don't know. I have no information about Africa. They don't talk about Africa in my television, so I really have no idea. But I assume because temperature is very high in Africa, especially around the equator, that the virus cannot spread that quickly. That's what I assume. I don't know whether it's true or not, but if it's full, maybe 20, 25 degrees, 15 degrees is the most suitable for the development. So I don't know about Africa. I honestly don't know. I hope Africa is another option, but I'm worried because of travel restrictions. You must go through Europe, and Europe is under siege. We're blocked all around. Borders are closed, so stay away from Europe for next 30 days. Believe me, stay away from Europe. We are in a very big trouble. So yeah, hear you all next time, and thank you for being here. I have to go. I have online classes and so on. Thank you so much for being here. Greetings, Psycho, and I hope I'll broadcast Cage Warriors tomorrow if it takes place. If not, then I will make some live stream, and if I find the news, I'll make a live stream from time to time, and we'll see what goes next. Currently, I don't have any plans, so I would say, but you know how's the situation. Have a great day, brothers.